What's up, everybody? You got the Car Man today, and I'm coming at you live. Let me give you an opportunity to subscribe real quick. We are a playlist, and this video may pertain to something else you want to see. Also, follow me on Facebook just in case you need to get in touch with me. It'd be really easy that way. Meanwhile, today we're talking about a motor inside of a Sebring Convertible that has just went bad. So we have one dead on arrival, and I just want to go over, because it's a pretty simple process. This is a do-it-yourself kind of deal, and I just want to share with you how actually simple it actually is. So I guess the first thing we'll discuss is how to get the back seat out. You'll have to start with the base, the bottom of the seat, and it's real simple. You see right there, you see that little white right there in the middle? Right there. There's one there, and I don't know if I can quite pan into the other one. It's kind of hiding. Right there it is. So you can put like a little crowbar or something and slide in there. And you can pop it loose. And basically it just slides out. Now the bottom, the back is a little different. It has two bolts actually. One's actually hiding in those leaves right there that we're looking at. Let's see if I can get you a little better look at those. Alright guys, so you have two of these bolts. I can't remember if they're 18 or 19 millimeter, but you see the little, you see where the seat belts are attached. And if you look right on the corners of them, there's one there and one here, which would be, there you go, there's both of them at an angle right there. You will see them with the back of the seat sitting on the top, still in place. You just remove those, pull them off of the stud, because it's going to have like a little flat piece of metal. Just pull that upwards. And if you take a look here, once you pull this forward, you'll have to lift it up, because we have three fasteners, 1, 2, 3 right there, that actually hold the back seat in. So right now you're only in this for about 30 seconds because we've basically just popped the bottom of the seat off, took two 18 and 19 millimeter head bolts off, or I'm sorry, nuts, and then lifted the back seat up. And actually what that exposes is a black cover, which you will see laying down here. See, it's just kind of laying there. And you just remove that, and this will expose the convertible top motor. Now we will notice a strange contraption sitting right beside it. That is actually the relay to the motor. Those do go bad. They're very simple to replace. As you can see, they just simply disconnect. You would just push the lever to move it, and it pops the relay out of the top, and you can pop a new one in. That's all there is to switching out a relay. Please don't pay somebody a few $100s for that, because you can do it in about 30 seconds. Now, while we're testing this, if you wanted to, you could put a little test light probe right into the yellow wire and try to move the lever up and down. It should go hot. And then do the same thing for the red wire, and it should go hot. And the reason that they do that is because the motor works in reverse. It goes one way forward, you reverse polarity, and it goes back the other way. So both of those will be hot at different moments in time, depending on the switch, which you would have to put the, as you all know, the emergency brake up to make that happen. Now, as far as changing the motor out, let's just take a look at it in its little place here. We notice that it has 4 little rubber feet. Let's get a little idea of that. I've actually have one out. We're going to take a closer look at it. We have 4 rubber feet. We have 2 fittings. Both are 13 millimeter. And then we have the electrical connection. So 2 13 millimeter fittings, electrical connection, and then the 4 rubber feet, and you are free to go. So let's take a little closer look at this motor and see if I can give you an idea of what you're going to be getting into. All right, hang on one second. I'm going to reposition on the back here so we can take a real good look at this one that's out. Okay guys, I'm going to go ahead and put you on the money here. This is one that is out of the car. And like I said, you just gently pry it up. And let's take a look at what's actually holding it in. You have the 4 rubber feet. So you can put something underneath there and just pop it out. As you see, it just gets, you compress it, and then she gets clamped up inside the that little gap right there. it just pops into place. Both of them do. And that's really all that's holding it. As far as the switch goes, it's just a simple depress and release. And as far as the hydraulic lines go, they're simply a 13 millimeter, and they are lefty loosey, righty tighty. Once you, let's see if I can get this other one out real quick. Once you have them out, you will notice your the old motor right there. I don't know if you can see right there, it comes with an O-ring. If you're servicing that line, definitely make sure that O-ring is in good shape and not leaking. But if it does, it's probably that O-ring right there. Very simple to get a hold of. No big deal. Also, what this one is missing, if you see right here on the back, this is the fill hole. Now, that's pretty important. As far as switching the motor out, it was just that simple. We just took the two 13 millimeters out, disconnected it, popped it loose, out comes the motor. So when you put it back in, it's a little trickier because these little guys right here, the little feet, you've got to have something to put a little bit of pressure on it so they pop back in place, because if you don't, when you use the motor, it's going to twist out of place. So we definitely want to make sure that's fastened. And then you can tell by just wiggling a little bit to make sure that she's nice and tight. Now you're going to need some Dextron 3 or some Universal that has a Dextron 3 rating. You know, we used to just use not power steering fluid, just any hydraulic fluid, but now they specified Dextron 3, so alright. So we put this back in place. As you see, it's probably 10 minutes into it. You've put the motor in, you've plugged up the electrical connection, you've went ahead and tightened up the two fittings. Life is good. You're like, okay, I need to make this thing work. How do you do that? Well, that's not a problem. We're gonna have to come up with a little, you can use like, I'm just giving you some ideas, guys. You can use like a little turkey baster, something with like a little, just a little filler on the end of it, and maybe just kind of keep, you know, tape it to a end of a, what was I thinking, a funnel, and you could just, you know, so that it doesn't leak, and then, you know, you could tape something like this to the funnel to make up for the gap, and just fill it in. Now, how much do you fill it? It's very simple. You see right here, as soon as she starts filling out, she's full initially. Leave the rubber off of here. It is a rubber plug that goes in here, but we're going to leave that off for a second. By the way, if you're having problems getting that out, just use a pair of pliers, gently massage it back and forth, she'll pop out. Alright, so we filled it up with Dex 3, and it's spilling out. Now it's time to operate the motor. Bring it fully forward, fully back, do that 3 or 4 times, and after you're done with that, refill this thing with some more fluid, and then go through the cycle. Do this 2 or 3 times, and once you're confident that you've got all the air out, you're going to need to put a rubber plug in the side of this, and that plug can be a pain. So what I suggest to do is get a hair dryer, heat gun, whatever, hold it with a pair of pliers, and just get the end of it nice and warm where it's malleable, and then just twist it in place, and then when you get it started, just push it, and she will pop in. It is kind of a pain, but it's doable. Alright guys, I think that'll probably pretty much wrap up if you have a little convertible top motor going out. I'll also have a video on how to refill this and bleed the air out if you want to get into it. It's going to be in our Sebring Convertible playlist. Also have one on drain holes. And just through the years you start collecting information, so I'm just sharing it now. Laughing. Very funny. Meanwhile, nothing but left from the car man from the RVA. We're going to see you on the next flip. See you guys.